Hi, I'm Lauren and I skate for the Victorian Roller Derby League. I use she/her pronouns and I'm looking forward to doing today's beginner learning to skate session on roller skates as well. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which I'm filming on today, the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging on this land. Thank you. So today's session will be on skates. So if you're not already on skates, hop on skates now and we'll get started in just a moment. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for today's Learn to Skate session. This should complement you learning how to skate, and today we'll go through some basic movements, how to use your pads to stop, fall and get moving. Okay, let's get started. So today we're going to be going over how to move on roller skates, how to laterally step, how to turn around and how to stop. So let's get started. First things first, you're on your roller skates and just get comfortable with what it feels like to stand on them as if you're standing on shoes. You might want to take a bit of a step laterally with me. Just going to walk side to side. And if for whatever reason you're feeling a bit wobbly, that's probably normal, you're on roller skates. We're going to practice falling safely. So what we don't want to do is fall kind of backwards into this sort of banana peel situation. What we do want to do is use our padding and fall on them. So in a moment, we're just going to practice having soft knees like so in a bit of a bend and just tapping down with one and two legs and practicing putting our skates down, leaning forward and standing back up. If that's a little bit too tricky for you, you can just practice maybe one tap, hands on the thighs, however you get up is right for you. Back down again, one or two taps, and then coming back up. When you stand back up, try not to shoot up nice and tall. We want to remain in that derby stance, which is that nice bent forward position. And it means if I do find a rock or something, I'm probably going to fall forwards, which is what we want, rather than backwards. Okay, so now we've gone over a few falls on our knees and up. Let's see if we can do a 4-point fall, which is onto our knees and then onto our hands like so. And this happens if we usually fall with a bit more momentum. Once we're in a 4-point position, to get up is pretty much the same. One foot in front of the other like so, and you can kind of skate away. So in your own time, let's practice a few 4-point or 2-point falls. So the way I do this is I'd sort of just roll forwards, up onto my knees, maybe my hands, and then come back up. We'll do a few on the side as well. Okay, now that we've done a few of those, falling seems to be under control. So if you feel yourself a bit wobbly at any point, try as much as you can to fall down onto those knees. Up next, we're going to be looking at how to move and roll on your skates. So the first thing we're going to do is called a lemon, and it's how to move your roller skates forward. So what we're going to do is roll forward and then very slowly bring our roller skates back in and form kind of the shape of a lemon like so. That's it. So if you can go forwards or backwards, or if you've got a lot of room, you can keep moving forwards and backwards like so. This is actually a bit easier to do with a little bit of momentum, so I'll show you with it a little bit rolling. So moving along, coming in, if you can, then coming back out and in. So once again, we're just going to go out and in, out and in. That's it, keep going. And from the front again, out and in, out and in. Well done. So next, you might want to stick with your lemons. If that's feeling good, the next step is to do figure eights. And what they look like is very similar, but with a bit of a crossover. So as you're coming around, you actually go past your midline and then come back out in front. So this might be something to work towards if you haven't done them before, or it might be something that you're ready for. So up to you, you can do your lemons or your figure eights, like so. Well done. This stuff does take practice, so if it's feeling really awkward, that's very normal. Trust me, we've all been there. Okay, so basically you've already been doing a plough without realising it, so we're going to go over the fundamentals of a plough stop, which is stopping. If anyone's been skiing or water skiing, it's really similar. So as you're moving forward, you're actually bringing your legs in that lovely lemon shape. So you're coming from shoulders and then coming back in. What I think about when I'm ploughing is I think about drawing my ankles back in and pushing my toes in and my ankles out, like so. So once again, coming forward and then stopping like so. You might hear a bit of a noise if your front wheels stay on the ground and your back wheels actually have a slight move, and that's a really great way to stop with a bit more precision. Coming around and you can hear that lovely chatter. So in your own time, try a few plough stops now, rolling forward and then coming to a stop. We're going to start with 2 legs at once, and you might find mirroring your hands to what your feet are doing are really helpful. Nice work. I'm going to do a few up and forth. Keep trying. Nice work. So the next thing we're going to be doing is lateral steps. These are often used in roller derby to get from one side of the track to the other. We normally get quite low, turn our hip and knee and foot out to the side, glide across, and then come to a stop. So in order to break this move down, the first step is actually just being comfortable stepping laterally with your toes forward. So we're going to work on this move first and go up and back a few times. So stepping laterally in a nice squat position, like so, and then coming back the other way. Nice. One more time. Well done. Alright, let's add in the lateral step now. So what that looks like again is you're going to turn out your toe, knee and hip and just glide a little bit by pushing your landed leg, and then see if you could come back to that front stance we were doing. So it's a step and then stopping forward on. Step and stop. Step, stop. Now your other leg might want to come with you in this open shape, or it might lag behind. It doesn't matter as long as you're getting the front leg stepped open and coming to a stop. Start off with a nice small step, and let's do a few together. So step and stop. Good. In order to stop, you just put your foot down where it came from. That's it. Nice work. If that's feeling pretty good to you, you can add a bit more intensity, get a bit lower and go a little bit wider. Nice. Awesome. So that's our lateral steps. There's a few different ways to do these, but that's the basics. It's best to practice when you're starting out. Have a drink and we'll move on to the next one. So next we're going to do turnaround toe stops, and the first method is a step-step method. What this looks like in motion, you'll be moving forward and you'll go step-step around like so. The key to remember with this move is that you're opening up your hip as the first manoeuvre. So for me, I'm skating and I'm going to turn my left leg behind me, step, and then my other leg behind. And you can do this stationary as well. So left leg behind, step. Left leg behind, step. So let's do it together, just stationary. Left leg open up and come around. Left leg open up and come around. Let's try the other side. There's usually one side that feels a bit more comfortable for folks. Right leg going to be open and come around. Right leg open and come around. You might find you're not turning around fully. You're kind of only going maybe like a quarter turn, and that'll get easier over time as you kind of correct yourself as you go. So I might only turn a little bit, but then as I take my next step, I sort of straighten myself up. So that's the step technique. If you feel comfortable, you can try it rolling. So we're going to roll and go left leg opens up, right leg comes around, and then roll through. Left leg comes around, right leg opens up and comes through. And again, left, right. This time, right, left. Now, once we turn around, how do we stop? That's what our toe stops are for. So I've got really big toe stops, and once I'm rolling backwards, I like to put them down on the ground to stop me. So it's good to practice just feeling out what do your toe stops feel like. Maybe standing on them and taking a few steps side to side, forwards and backwards, keeping your weight forward. And they're available for us once we do a turnaround toe stop. So as I turn around to stop gliding, I just put my toe stops down. Like so. There we go. So that's the step method with the toe stops. And next we're going to do the pivot method. Pivoting you'll see a lot when people kind of do these big, fancy, pretty spins. They're not my forte, obviously. But I do like the pivot kind of turnaround toe stop because I find it's actually really easy. So in order to do this, what you're going to practice is what it feels like to just be on the front wheels of your roller skates. So it's almost onto your toe stops, but not quite. And then just move your heels side to side. So see if you can do a few of those now. We just move the heels one way and the heels the other way, like so. Do a few more. And if that feels okay, you can just try to move the toes this time. Toe one way and then the other way. So when we're doing a turnaround pivot toe stop, we're using either just toes or heels, which is more rare, or a combination of the two, like so. Okay, the last trick that we're going to do in turning around is the jump. Now this one's a little bit trickier, so make sure that you have got the other two out of the way before you start this one. So this is, as it's described, jumping into a 180 to turn around. So I recommend that we do a jump forwards before we do a jump turning. So let's start off stationary and get used to the feeling of bending down and then jumping up and landing nice and soft. Well done. Go again. Bending down and landing nice and soft. And basically a 180 is pretty much the same thing. You want to start set, look over the shoulder that you're turning to. For me it's my left, and then into that 180 shape. It's okay if you start off maybe just a bit of a quarter turn first and then progressing your way as you go. And the finished product looks a bit like this. So that sums up our Learn to Skate session today. As a bit of a recap, we covered lemons, figure eights and plough stops, lateral steps and then turnaround toe stops. I hope this has given you some stuff to work on, and please shout out if you're having trouble with anything and I'd be happy to help you out. Let's do a bit of a cool down together. So let's hop onto one leg and leaning forward. And swapping legs, like so, leaning forward. Great work. And one leg out in front, leaning forward. Feel the stretch in the back of your thigh. And changing legs. Alright, thanks for joining us today, and I hope you can check out more of the workout videos that we have for skaters up thanks to Proud to Play.